What's good, y'all? Welcome back to a brand new video. So y'all know last night the All-Star reserves were announced. I gotta say, I almost got a perfect score. If you watched my video from maybe 3 days ago, I only got one wrong because I had Drummond in the All-Star game. But nonetheless, I think the coaches did a great job voting. There are people that got snubbed, obviously, because there are only so many spots. But thinking of people that got snubbed, people like Devin Booker, a young player who's averaging 25 points per game, they got me thinking about the future of this league. Future All-Stars in this league, and that's going to lead us to making a video named One Future All-Star from Every NBA Team. Now, it is obvious, not every NBA team at this moment has a player that's going to blossom into an All-Star. But when we get to those teams that don't have a for sure player that'll blossom, I'm going to explain. I'm just going to name somebody that I think has the brightest future on their roster. And when we get to a team like that, I'll go more in depth. So there are some criteria that goes into this. If they have already been an All-Star in their career, they do not count. So yes, DeAndre Jordan was not an All-Star this year, but he's not on this list because he's been an All-Star before. Same thing with Paul George. Same thing with Isaiah Thomas. Things like that, okay? So we're talking about the future of this league. Before we get into it, I gotta do my shout outs of the day. Shout out to everybody that was supporting the channel. Shout out to Mecca Elementary. I went to their school yesterday to talk for career day. I got invited to a career day, y'all, and it was really fun. The kids are really smart, asked me a lot of great questions about wanting to be a future YouTuber in the future. So it was really fun. So shout out to them. But let's get into this video. Start off with the Atlanta Hawks. The future start I can see from their roster is Dennis Schroeder. Just because the dude is only 24 years old and every year he's got better and better and better. Right now he's averaging 20 points per game. He was not mentioned as an All-Star snub just because his team is so bad. He's taking a lot of shots, but nonetheless he's got better and better every year. I say this to Atlanta Hawks fans, you guys should not be worried about anything. Y'all got a player who I think is going to be really good in Dennis Schroeder, and then with the 19th pick in this draft, you drafted a guy, John Collins, who may not turn into a star, but he looks like he's going to be a starter in his league. And at the 19th pick, I think that's pretty good. We got the Boston Celtics. Can you believe the guy's only 19 years old? Of course, we're talking Jason Tatum. It was between him and, of course, Jaylen Brown. But I went Jason Tatum because there are periods of time where I'm watching the Celtics play and Jason Tatum will make a move and I'm like, man, that's something a 25, 26-year-old would do. And I know it's a meme saying he's only 19 years old, but legitimately, I think that sometimes when I'm watching the guy play, I think he's a bona fide star in this league. Will be a top 5 player? Probably not. But I think in his future, he'll probably have multiple All-Star game appearances. Next, we got the Brooklyn Nets. This is a team that don't necessarily have a player that I think will be blossom into an All-Star, but the guy with the highest ceiling is, of course, D'Angelo Russell, drafted 2nd overall just a couple years ago. The Lakers gave up on him because they didn't think he was not a player to lead a team. Brooklyn Nets said, we'll take him. And this year, he's been okay. Of course, he had the injury that kept him out majority of the season. I think he's only played 15 games, and the last 3 were him on a minutes restriction coming back from his injury. But I still think at this young age, he's going to blossom into a player once he gets a little more mature to be really good in this league. So he's my pick for the Brooklyn Nets. The Charlotte Hornets. So y'all know Kemba Walker was not an All-Star this year, but he was an All-Star in the past. Same thing with Dwight Howard. I don't have an answer for this. Malik Monk, he has not impressed me so far this year. He's averaging 5 points per game, and even in that, he just hasn't impressed me. So I don't have somebody for the Charlotte Hornets, just because they're selling right now anyway. We don't even know who's going to be on their team January 9th, the day after the trade deadline. Kemba may not be there. Jordan already said he's not trading Kemba, but let's be real, Jordan. You probably actually taking phone calls on Kemba. So Charlotte fans, I'm sorry. I guess we could say Jeremy Lamb because he's having a great year. But even then, I don't think he'll ever be an All-Star caliber player. Chicago Bulls. Larry, the marksman. He's doing crazy things that haven't been done before. Honestly, y'all see the stat. Man, he was the quickest player to hit 100 threes. That's cool, but then again, that's overrated in the same route. Right now, we're playing in a league that people shoot threes. Next year, the year after that, that will probably be broken, all right? But even outside of a three-point shooter, the guy has really impressed me. I'm watching every single game, and I feel like every game he gets a lot better and better. I think he's going to be a star in this league. All-star for sure. Superstar, again, don't really know, but I think he will have multiple All-Star appearances. I'm a fan, and I'm excited to see about his future. The Cleveland Cavaliers, right? Okay, let's lay it out. LeBron, All-Star. He's been an All-Star his entire career, basically. Isaiah Thomas, not an All-Star this year, but he's been an All-Star. Kevin Love, All-Star this year. Who else on that roster has a future of being an All-Star? Derrick Rose has been an All-Star. Dwayne Wade has been an All-Star. I don't think there is one. Again, the future of the Cleveland Cavaliers franchise is really in the ropes right now. We don't know what it's going to look like. They ain't got one. Shetty Osman. Let's go with Shetty for now. Dallas Mavericks have Dennis Smith Jr. Very impressed with what he's done. Yeah, if y'all don't know, I wanted my Bulls to draft Dennis Smith Jr. over Larry Marketing, but in reality, I'm okay with the draft right now. But that's not saying Dennis Smith Jr. or Larry Marketing is better than Dennis Smith Jr. because he's really impressed me as well. I think he is a future star in his league, which is great for Dallas. And it's so hard for rookie point guards to be good. And I think Dennis Smith Jr., he has been better than a normal rookie point guard, if that makes sense. So that's bright. And then the dude said he want to be in a dunk contest. I know they got nothing to do with being a star. You don't have to be a star to be in a dunk contest. But the dude got so much bounce and so much explosiveness. I cannot see, barring injury, I think he'll be really good. The Denver Nuggets. Now, the obvious pick was Nikola Jokic. He's been this close. He was this close last year. He was this close this year. I think he got some votes. Even though this year has been pretty underwhelming for him, he hasn't blossomed to the next step that a lot of people wanted him to. But other than Nikola Jokic, I have Jamal Murray. I've been a fan of Jamal Murray since college. And I don't watch much college ball, but Jamal Murray had been on my list since college. 2 games in a row, he dropped over 30 points. He's a bona fide scorer, and he's still super young. He's going to get better and better. Him and Devin Booker were going head-to-head. And y'all know Devin Booker is one of the best scorers in his league. Both dropped 30 on each other. And then the day after that, he drops 38, I'm pretty sure, on Portland. I think he's going to be really good. But if I had to pick one player that I'm sure will be a future All-Star, it's Jokic. Next down the list is Tobias Harris. Look at Tobias Harris' rookie year. It's just year after year after year. He gets better and better and better in basically every category. If he continues this, he's only 24. I feel like he's been in the league for a long time, but he's only 24. He continues this, getting better and better for 2 more years. He may be averaging 22, 23 points per game. So he's the next guy on the list. I don't feel super confident about it, but one thing I can say is Tobias Harris deserves some notoriety for him being better and better and better and better every year. Next, the Warriors. All right. So they got 4 All-Stars this year, okay? They got 4 All-Stars. So I can't pick a player that's going to blossom into an All-Star because I don't think they have one. They got the best core in the league because they got 4 All-Stars. But other than that, they don't. But I can say that I think Jordan Bell will blossom into a nice starter, all right? So that's one of those situations where they don't have a future All-Star, but a player that's going to really contribute to their team for a long time is Jordan Bell, 3.5. He pooped all over my Bulls after we traded him away. I really like the dude. Oh, and then Robin Lopez pooped on him, which is the reason he's injured right now. I do think right now, he's already turned himself into a starter. He came into the league, he was getting a couple minutes here and there. He's taking a starting spot over a healthy Zaza, over a healthy JaVale McGee. 2nd round rookie. He's going to be good. Next, we got the Rockets. Clint Capella is my pick because, of course, James Harden's an all-star. And then Chris Paul, not an all-star this year, but been an all-star pretty much all his career other than this year. And maybe not last year. I think he was injured last year as well. But Clint Capella is the 3rd guy on my list. I think he is having, again, an all-star quality season. But again, there's only so many spots. I'm a guy that always wants to credit people that help their team win. And other than, of course, James Harden and Chris Paul, he is the X factor. Remember, he was out for 5 games early this season. And I'm pretty sure they lost 4 out of those 5 games. He's super important to this team, and he's getting better every year. Clint Capella is my pick for the Houston Rockets. Now, obviously, Victor Oladipo would be the pick, but he's an all-star this year. Shout out to Vicky O. Next guy on my list is Miles Turner, and I like Miles Turner a lot, but there are periods of time where I'm watching him play, and he just disappears. And he can disappear for an entire game where you don't see his name, you don't hear his name, he's not scoring. But then you get those games, you're like, wow, this guy can be really good. He's one of the best shot blockers in the league. I think if he just keeps his foot on the pedal, he can blossom into an all-star. Clippers. Can't pick Blake. Can't pick DeAndre Jordan. I got to go Lou Will. Now, I tweeted this yesterday. I don't think Lou Will ever be an all-star. This is the best season of his career, and I don't know how he will get better. But I think he deserves some type of respect or just acknowledgement on this video because he's been balling this year. One of the main reasons why this Clippers team that I thought should be blown up, that I thought were going to be not good this year, they've been okay. They've been in a playoff fight, you know, because of Lou Williams basically carrying his team when his other guys, DeAndre Jordan has been out for some time, Blake Griffin has missed a lot of time, Gallinari has been out with a butt injury. He hurt his butt, y'all. A butt injury has kept him out most of this year. And then Patrick Beverly, like they just been cursed with injuries. But one thing that has stayed still is Lou Williams dropping 30 a game. Next, we got the Lakers. Now, the Lakers have a really nice young core with, of course, Zoe, Brandon Ingram, and Kyle Kuzma, who just went off for, I think, 30 against one of the best teams in the league, the Boston Celtics. The best defensive team in the league, the Boston Celtics. But again, I still think Lonzo Ball has the highest ceiling out of all of them because he impacts the game in every single aspect. Rebounding, assisting. He's not a bad defender as a rookie point guard, and that's saying something. Will he ever develop a nice jumper? Who knows? But I gotta say, when he's out there, his team is so much better. Memphis Grizzlies. All right, so Mike Conley's never been an all-star. So do we gotta go Mike Conley here? Because the rest of their team, they're just placeholders. Next, we got the Miami Heat. So obviously, it was between Hassan Whiteside, who's never made an all-star game, and then Goran Dragic. I went Goran Dragic because, again, I have been watching Miami Heat more and more. Shout out to Heat Nation. I'm noticing you. Don't worry. I notice you. But one thing I do notice about them is Hassan Whiteside is not playing those last crunch time minutes. That's big, man. That's big. Bam Adebayo's been taking that spot in the crunch time. But a guy that's constantly on the floor that is I think maybe the heart of this team from when I'm watching is Goran Dragic. Goran Dragic was third team All-NBA a couple years ago, but he wasn't even an all-star. Next, we got the Milwaukee Bucks, and the guy I picked was actually Jabari Parker. Hopefully, this is solely based off if he can play without any ACLs. 2 ACLs gone. But he showed me last year that he can average 20 points per game on a team that's trying to contend, and that's why I picked him. But again, they had a nice pool to pick from. Chris Middleton is a borderline all-star, if you ask me. Averaged over 20 points per game. And the games Giannis wasn't here this week, he got a triple-double in the first one, though they did not win. And then the game after that, he dropped like 38. Borderline all-star. Timberwolves, obviously, they got Karl Anthony Towns making his first all-star game, so shout out to him. And then Jimmy Butler. Next down the list is obviously Wiggins. When Jimmy Butler was out these last 2 games, and he came up, he stepped up, and that's great. Pelicans, literally no one. Other than their 2 front court guys, no one. Drew Holiday has already been an all-star back at Philly, so he don't count. Nobody. Next. Knicks, Porzingis making his first all-star game, so shout out to him for that. Other than that, I don't know who I would pick. Who's their second best player? Is it a Nance Cantor? Nance Cantor's not going to get to that place when he's an all-star. Tim Hardaway Jr. won't either. Maybe it's Frankie Smokes. But I have not seen enough for him to tell you I think he's going to be an all-star. So it's another one of those where I'm like, So we're going to pick Frankie Smokes. Again, under the circumstances I talked about in the beginning of the video. Maybe he's not an all-star, but he'll be a quality player for their team for the future. One of the most underappreciated guys in the league is Steven Adams. The dude does what you need him to do. He's not a guy that's going to ask for shots, but he's going to get them by being at the right place at the right time. He's going to defend by being at the right place at the right time. Obviously, we couldn't pick Russell Westbrook. We couldn't pick Melo. We couldn't pick Paul George. Steven Adams is the next guy on that list. Big fan of Steven Adams' game. Very underrated. 76ers, Joel Embiid is an all-star this year. So it's obviously got to be Ben Simmons. Look at the man's numbers. Of course, they haven't decreased over the past couple months, but still, he's putting up numbers that are amazing for a rookie. He got some votes for being an all-star this year. I don't think he deserved it. That's why he wasn't on my personal list, but I think he's going to have it in the future. Definitely have it in the future. The Suns, obviously, Devin Booker snubbed this year. I am almost willing to bet money that next year he will be an all-star. Barring injury, he will probably be an all-star next year. The Blazers have 2 guards that are really good. Damian Lillard is an all-star again this year. He was not snubbed, y'all. Hey, he was not snubbed again. But the next guy on the list is CJ McCollum, another guy that has been a fringe all-star. But again, there are only so many spots in the Western Conference. He's going to be battling for those spots. But he is the next guy that I think on their team that could be an all-star in the future. I was trying to pick between De'Aaron Fox and Buddy Hield. Buddy Hield is 24 years old, if y'all don't know. So that's one of the downsides about Buddy Hield. But this year, he has been playing a lot better. Even tonight, he had a pretty good game. Not even just scoring the ball. That's what he had been known for doing in college. He's improving his game outside scoring. So it's between him and De'Aaron Fox. I think I probably would go De'Aaron just because he is a lot younger, and now they're trying to give him the keys since they are trying to trade George Hill. So we'll go De'Aaron Fox. Hope that Swiper can be an all-star in the future. The Spurs. All right, the Spurs are a team that could contend with a high school roster. That's how good Pop is as a coach. But we can't pick Kawhi. We can't pick LaMarcus. We can't pick TP. We can't pick Manu. Who's next? Who is the guy that I think will be a legitimate all-star for them? I don't think they have one right now. So we'll go back with the thing we talked about before early in the video, a guy that could be a great contributor to them in the future. And that is their starting point guard now, DeJounte Murray, who basically took the starting spot over Tony Parker. Tony Parker said it was time, and it happened. His numbers may not say he's really good. He's averaging 6 points per game this year. But he has those flashes where you look at him and you're like, yeah, he can be good. I don't think he'll ever be an all-star, but he can be their starting point guard for the future. You know, you can win a championship without having a great starting point guard. It's been done plenty of times. Next, we got the Raptors. Can't pick DeMar DeRozan. Can't pick Kyle Lowry. The young guy, OG Anunoby. Again, I do not think he'll ever be an all-star, but he has shown, even right now, he's become a quality player on their team. Just imagine how much he can blossom into where he, again, I don't think he'll be an all-star. Hopefully I'm wrong, though, because I like the guy. But I think he'll be a quality starter for their future, and that's exactly what you want to do with late first-round picks. You want to draft a player that, no, he may not be a star, but if he can help us win, that's a W. The Jazz. Y'all know who we saying with this one. It's Donovan Mitchell. Do I need to say more? The guy reminds me of a young Flash, a young Dwayne Wade. Will he become a young Flash? Probably not. And I'm only saying that because Flash is what? The number 3, number 4 shooting guard of all time? I don't think that Donovan Mitchell is going to turn into that, all right? But I definitely think he'll be a future All-Star. There's no doubt in my mind. And last but not least is Otto Porter for the Washington Wizards. Again, we can't pick their 2 guards because they have been All-Stars or are All-Stars, all right? Otto Porter's the next guy on the list just because he is a guy that is very valuable, a 3-and-D guy, but each year he's getting better and better. Again, another team that he may not be an all-star. He probably will never be an all-star, but he will continue to be a great contributor on a team that's trying to compete, and that's great. Thank you so much for watching this video. I always love doing these one from every team videos because, again, that gives me a way to talk about every team that you're a fan of in some way. And in this video, at least we talk positively about 28 or so teams. You know, some teams, it ain't much to say positive about them. So thank y'all so much for watching this video. For shout out of the day, let me know in the comment section below the guy that you think from your team that may blossom into a future superstar that I did not talk about. Because again, there could be guys out there like Jimmy Butler. Nobody was saying Jimmy Butler is going to turn into a future star when he was a rookie, even when he was a sophomore. The dude was really getting minutes. So there may be guys out there in the league that I haven't taken notice of. So put me on game. A guy that you think can turn to a future superstar from your team or all-star. Thank y'all. I love making these NBA videos. That's why I be doing them more and more, not just quizzes and stuff like that. And y'all been killing it with the like button. So let's keep it up. See y'all very, very soon.